I have to ask myself this question. Why do I do YouTube? Why do I just put myself out to the world and just talk about different things like prophecy and news and things like that? Well, we'll talk about why I do YouTube, why I'm here. We're going to get into it today on the ROG. Hello, everyone. Welcome back to my channel. Welcome back to the ROG. My name is Ron Farina.
Roger. Huh?
I'm back out here in my patio, my deck. It is an absolutely beautiful, a little bit on the crisp, cool side here in Western Michigan, but the sun is out. It is Memorial Day weekend, and I'm sitting here reflecting and wondering why I do this. Why did I decide to just say, you know what, I'm going to start a YouTube channel and try to bring some truth and clarity to the world?
What's going on? We have a right to know the truth.
Why do I not have 100,000 subscribers? And why is my audience so small? Well, a couple of reasons for that, and I'm going to kind of get into that as we carry on. But when I've watched many vloggers and many YouTubers and many people who just randomly, well, you have a lot of like travelers and people who live in their vans and people who just do traveling vlogs, or even just plain old vlogs about nothing. And they have hundreds and thousands of subscribers. They have like tons of people that some of their videos just go completely and utterly like viral. I mean, it's insane. So when someone comes on like myself, a nobody, washed up old gymnastics coach like me, who comes on here, who had a dream, a vision that God gave me, and decided to just say, you know what, I'm going to start a YouTube channel. I'm just going to do it. Do I do it for attention? Do I do it because I just need the, the attention? Absolutely not. No.
Liar! Liar! Liar!
Get back, witch!
I'm not a witch, I'm your wife!
Putting myself out there, you know, I'm more of a very private person. I like to keep to myself, kind of socially awkward, but a lot of people would, you know, to me, I have to get to know a person to really get comfortable with them. You know what I mean? It's how it's very hard for me to make a lot of friends.
Oh my gosh, does that suck?
But I have friends, and you know, that's a good thing. But you know, am I one of those like outgoing, really like kind of people? And it takes a while. I shouldn't say it takes a while. It might only take a few minutes to days before I get comfortable with the person, or, you know, that's how it is. But I can get on here and just completely be myself and talk about things that are going on in the world and prophecy and the prophetic, and just bring a truth out there. But why do I have such low numbers? Why am I not getting a lot of views? And a lot of people say, well, you know, maybe I need to have some clickbait. I don't like using that term clickbait. You know, I put a title on my videos, and that's just what I will put because I'm just speaking that. Some people will just put a crazy title and it has nothing to do with the video. That's not me. I like to put, you know, a title that actually reflects on what the video is talking about. So that's not my intention, you know, to have any kind of clickbait or whatever.
Thank you.
But I watch these vloggers, and a lot of them will do like daily vlogs. Like every single day they'll do some sort of like video, the trip they took, or there's families out there who bring with their kids on video. You know, and to me, I think that's a little, I wouldn't do that, because it's just, you know, little kids should not be exposed. That there's way too many creeps out there and perverts and things like that.
I'm not a pervert!
But okay, I mean, but hey, you know, you do your thing. If you're a vlogger, do your thing. but there's so many. When YouTube came out, it was like, it was at 2005. So YouTube's the same age as my child. My child was born in 2005. Um, so it's like 21 years old. Well, I should say 20 years old. It's a 20-year-old thing. And it's just exploded, and people make tons of money off this thing, off this platform. I'm wondering, how the heck do they do it? How do they make so much money? A lot of it is got to do with they make their videos like very professional. They have like good editing, and they have like drones. They have like several camera angles and things like that. Like they go full fledged on doing the whole, like, put a camera angle there, put a camera angle there, and it just seems like so exhausting, like so much work. To me, I'm very lazy. I'm going to say, I'm going to use my phone. I'll have a microphone, so that way people can hear me. I'll add a few of these little movie bits in there, just to kind of give a little humor to it, because I like to use humor.
Okay, USA. USA.
And try to be a little bit more light in a darker. Some of the stuff I put will be a little bit darker, but it's just more like, a lot of it is hope, and a lot of it is good news, is what I like to try to put on this channel, to keep it positive, to keep it motivated, to get people to say, hey, it's not dark and dim is what a lot of people are saying. No, it's nothing like that, because that's not what the Bible says. Mine is strictly, about good news, because at the end, there'll be a hopeful message in these videos. And it's like, and I don't use fancy cameras. I don't have a GoPro. I don't have like 5 GoPros that I'm going to use and use it, in different angles and stuff like that. And I get how people, want to do that. I think that's great. It makes the video more entertaining, more enjoyable for the watcher, and so forth. So it's like, okay, well then, just do your thing. And it's so crazy, because it's one person who's editing, who's moving all the cameras. It's one person doing it all, or they'll have like someone with them. And it's just crazy. So I watch a lot of like outdoors videos, and people make they'll have 6 million subscribers, all because of, they went to the Appalachian Trail, or, they go camping, and it's like, wow, and here's the thing. When you're one of these big time vloggers, you get recognized in public. You're now a public figure. And it's your privacy is completely abolished. Yeah, you could be successful in being a YouTuber, but now you're out there. You can't go out in public without someone recognizing you. And that's one of the things that, I thought about that when I was starting this channel. I was like, well, what if by some great thing I become a famous vlogger? Well, that's not happening anytime soon. I'll tell you that much. I already know that a lot of people don't like what I say on my channel, and that's fine, and I get it. I just try to bring a revelation of what God showed me and what He's revealed to me about, the end times and so forth. And a lot of people want me to say the world's going to hell in a handbasket and Jesus is coming back to rescue us. No, I'm not saying that, because that's not the narrative. That's not the truth. I'm here to say that there is a bigger calling coming, that the world is about to experience glory like never to be seen before. And that's my message. That is my true message. And I take it with 1000% truth. And I have to, because this is what God has brought me to, and like I said, if more and more people watch this video, is great. Spread it around. I want these things spread around. I want more subscribers. I want all that, not because I want fame. I'm not looking for fame here. I'm looking to bring a truth.
The truth shall set you free.
For pastors and shepherds and people out there who need to know what God's plan is, and how we need to study the Bible, not just glance through it, not just pick a few verses here or there. Every single word of the Bible needs to be studied. and study it. And again, I said it before, I'll say it again. The Bible is alive today. It really is. I mean, even the book of Revelation. I mean, I believe we're living in that book right now. The way things are looking. But the book of Revelation is a lot more meaning to it than just the tribulation, the Antichrist, the false prophet. Yeah, all those things are going to happen. There's going to be a tribulation. There's going to be an Antichrist. There's going to be a false prophet. No question about it. It's written in the Bible. It's there. Uh, and and a lot of these videos that just pop up on my YouTube feed and my channel, whatever, is one of my favorites. Is like God gave me a vision that next Thursday on the 27th he's returning. You know, there's things like that, and I just laugh. Okay, I might have made that one up, but it's pretty close to what I've seen in a lot of these YouTube videos. And another thing is, you know, YouTube's very strict on their copyright laws. I've already in my last, I don't know why I got a copyright mark on my video about the Shroud of Turin. When I did the video for like when the video of Jesus, and it was somehow marked as copyrighted. I'm like, there must be there's music in it. I guess it was copyrighted. I don't know.
You're naughty.
I got the music off Instagram, or I got the video off Instagram, so I don't know why it would be that way. But again, YouTube's very strict on it, but I can't take the video down now. It's got like almost 1,000 views. So it's just things like that. It's like, you know, YouTube has these very strict rules. Now, they're not like censoring as much as they used to. I mean, I remember back in 2020, they were censoring, you know, for saying, I could say that COVID-19 was a big giant, you know, fake. I could say that, but I mean, it wasn't a fake. People got sick, but it was just more like, you know, it was things like that. I'm trying to give an example of what, you know, you could not say in the YouTube videos. So you gotta be careful. You can't say, you know, they're cancel you, they're censor you. And I'm just like, you know what? I give them, they can look between the fingers. I'm not that type of person, but they can definitely, you know, I don't give a crap what YouTube does to me, because, you know, this is my platform. This is my show. I believe in freedom of speech. I believe in freedom of expression and freedom of religion. So as all constitutional, I believe in the full-fledged Constitution of the United States of America. Listen to me, I sound like a military guy, but I'm not.
You're all in this together.
But it's like, I see these YouTube videos from other bloggers and things like that, and a lot of it just is like, dude, what have you really like thought about what you're going to put on here? And that's the thing. That's what I do here. I have to think about what I'm going to put on here. Sometimes I rehearse. I don't rehearse all the time, because usually I just kind of like let my heart speak when I come onto this channel. So, you know, a lot of it, I like to study the Bible and make sure that what I'm going to say is a biblical truth, not just some like made up thing. You know what I mean? And that's the thing, when you're vlogging, when you're doing videos like I'm doing about the prophetic and about, you know, end times and things like that, biblical truth is the importance of doing these. And you have to make sure that it's biblically accurate, because you can't just like, you know, wing a video. I've begun to realize that there's some things I've said, and I've looked back at some of my videos. I'm like, I really said that? Holy cow! Why did I say that? I might have to make another video and correct myself, or you know, that sort of thing. So again, you know, that is why I do these videos, because I feel like this is what I need to do. If I didn't think it was working, I would have just put an end to these vlogs a long time ago. Because really, a vlogger, a YouTube vlogger, any YouTube vlogger is putting out themselves, who they are, what they, you know, what they do for a living, you know, where they live, how many kids they have. You're getting involved in their personal lives in a lot of ways.
That's shocking.
You know, and it's like I've watched I'll follow these vloggers who have pets, who have dogs or something. And there was one, I'll just give a quick example before I wrap this up. One vlogger, her name is Maria, and she's actually from Western Michigan here, but she's roaming reckless. And you start watching her vlogs, you know, she'll do a weekly vlog here and there, and then her dog passed away. And it had to be the most gut-wrenching, saddest thing I've ever seen in my life. Not because, you know, because it was so sad. Because it's like, you get involved with these people, even though it's just a YouTuber, you don't know them personally, but when their dog passes away, it's like, oh my goodness. And I cried. I bawled my head off. And it's like, you know, I don't even know this person, but their dog died. Oh my gosh, you know, it's things like that, you know? And it was like, she made so many videos dedicating to her dog, and her dog was just the sweetest dog. And it's like, oh my goodness, what are you doing to me? And that's the thing. That's now my point here is the world knows. The whole world knows. I can look at you and say, hi, whole world. I'm doing a YouTube video. You know, I don't even know what countries even watch this, but you know, if you're watching from a different country, you know, hey, great. I want more people from all over the world to watch this. And again, you know, the thing is, I don't have any pets, so you don't have to worry about a dog passing away or any pets. But you know, I do have a personal life. I mean, I do have problems. I have a lot of, you know, things that go on in my life. But what I like to do is I just like to get out there that there is definitely good things coming. When problems happen, they're temporary, and things tend to work out, you know, and that's usually how it works, especially if you're a Christian. If you trust God and put things before God, it works out at the end.
Yes!
That's the bottom line. But yeah, so YouTube is definitely definitely a crazy place to be on, and I will keep making these videos as long as I need to. If YouTube cancels me, you know, that's how it goes. But I'm gonna keep doing what I'm gonna do. And speaking of which, you know, I want you guys to please subscribe, share. I've got a lot of people watching my videos. They don't subscribe. Subscribe to my videos, even if you don't like me. Okay, that's fine. You don't like what I say. You don't like my message. Just, yeah, that's fine. You know, go ahead but still subscribe. What the heck? Then you can not like me more, and there you go. But hey, you know, that's just how it is. But anyways, so I just thought I'd get on here and tell you guys why I do YouTube and what my whole, you know, everybody knows what my message is if you've been watching my videos long enough. And again, over 3 years, I've been doing this, and I'm going to keep doing this until God says no mas, no mas, call it done. And I'm just going to go for it. But again, my point of my whole future and my whole point of this channel, I have a vision, I have a dream about doing what I want to do on this, and that is to document and record God's reality. That is my whole agenda for this channel. When I get the time and the effort and the finances to do it, that's what I want to do. And I hope and pray that that's the case, and I hope God really, you know, brings me to that level.
You can do it!
Because you see so many vlogs about paranormal stuff. I want this to be a vlogs about supernatural, God's supernatural wonder and signs and wonders and miracles and things like that. I have a video of a miracle of 2 years ago of a woman coming out, you know, walking out of a wheelchair. That's my first miracle I ever documented on this channel. So you can go back and check out in my archives. But anyway, so that is my intention. That is my plan, and that is what I hope to do in the future. And that's I talk a lot, I know. Again, here's a socially awkward guy that talks a lot, but I still, you know, if you get to know me, I get to know a person, and yeah, I'm not going to be socially awkward anymore. So that's the beauty of it. But anyways, so I'm going to wrap this up. I know I talk a lot, but hey, you know, that's the name of the game, and I had a lot on my mind. So just thought I'd get on here and tell you guys a little bit about about my why I do this and why I'm going to continue to do it until God says no more. Anyways, that's going to be my video for today. If you don't know Jesus Christ as your personal Lord and Savior, get to know him, ask him to forgive you of your sins, and he will change your life forever. And comment below. Comment and give me your testimony. You know what? You have a testimony and you have something cool in your life. I'm going to put my email down. You can email me your testimony. And if you'd like for me to share it on this channel, just give me the go ahead. I won't share it if you don't want me to. Just make sure you make that clear that you don't want me to share your testimony. But if you have a testimony that you would like to share with me on this channel, please. I'll leave my email in the comments, or not the comments, but in the description. So if you look below, you'll see my email address. Go ahead and email me, and I want to read your testimony. I think that would be awesome. Let's start doing that from now on. All right. So anyways, I'm going to wrap this up. Anyways, guys, thank you so much for watching. I'll see you guys in the next video. Happy Memorial Day. God bless all of you. Bye for now.